Hi, welcome to She Spice. Vocalist Chaka Kan has obviously intensified Diddy's troubles by adding a line of serious charges that could break the chief of Awful Kid Records reports marching and recommend that examiners have proactively welcomed Chaka Kan following her news stunning uncovered about Diddy and his tutor Clive Davis. As of now, Clive Davis isn't the subject of any examination anyway. A bird murmured to me that he could be added on the off chance that he continues to be related with the 52-year-old rapper Many Ind. Individuals have intimated that Diddy didn't work alone, however did as such under the tutelage of Clive Davis, and Chaka Kan's new opens seem to tow a similar story, following Chaka Kan's purportedly dangerous disclosures. Many fans imagine that it's inevitable before others assumed Clive Davis. Casualties will assemble the mental fortitude to sue him. So what did Chaka Kan uncover that has started this multitude of discussions? What are the disclosures going to mean for the fortunes of Diddy and Clive Davis? I have everything within scoop here, and I'm prepared to serve your #1 flavorful frozen yogurt, so remain tuned. That was finished. Madness, and knowing Whitney, I don't really accept that she would have said the show should go on. Chaka Kan was as of late in the news when her girl Indira celebrated what she named Diddy's destruction via web-based entertainment. She was glad that the I'll Be Missing You rapper was being delayed online entertainment for how she treated Cassie, yet above all she was invigorated that Diddy was confronting his own karma for how he purportedly treated her mom numerous years back. At first, Chaka Kan didn't underwrite or denounce her girl's assault on Diddy, driving many fans to feel that Indira was most likely making things up. Certain fans recommended that Indira was simply draining the circumstance to remain important in the business, since she personally was an entertainer anyway. Her mom, Chaka Kan, has now held up into the waters, giving lucidity to her little girls and adding an additional win to the entire adventure that uncovers how dim Diddy and Clive's past is currently to see the present video. Here's a concise foundation for how everything began last month. CNN delivered a 2016 video film of Diddy laying his hands on Cassie Ventura in the lobby of an inn. The upsetting film provided everybody with a brief look at the damnation that Cassie persevered because of the business. Head honcho in the video, Cassie is seen running down the corridor without shoes and attempting to call the lift. Diddy, wearing a towel around his midsection, finds Cassie and lays his hands on her. Diddy then hauls the hapless Cassie and seems to kick her while she lies on the floor, attempting to oppose his endeavors. At last, Diddy gives up. The video slices to what has all the earmarks of being their room, where the business is. The investor is seen tossing something at the vulnerable artist. The video ignited shock over the web, with many fans and pundits calling for Diddy's head to move, seeing the shock the video caused and the impact it would have on the continuous examinations concerning his confidential life and organizations. Diddy released a conciliatory sentiment in a video presented on his Instagram page. The repentant-looking rapper said, "My conduct on that video is reprehensible. I take full responsibility for my activities in that video. I was disturbed, and then when I did it, I'm nauseated. I went and I searched out proficient assistance. I sought into going to treatment, going to rebuild. I needed to ask God for his kindness and elegance. I'm so sorry, but unfortunately, I'm resolved to be a superior man every single day. I'm not requesting pardon. I'm genuinely sorry." Many fans weren't accepting that statement of regret, since they felt he was simply being cheesy, seeing that he was in a sharp corner, so they expanded the power of the reaction while everybody was hauling. Diddy Indira took to that video remark segment to observe Diddy's obvious defeat. "I'm happy this is going on with you," she started prior to telling the entire world how Diddy treated her mom and sibling. "Quite a while back, you got in my mom's face and openly disregarded her, hollering like a maniac. When my younger sibling attempted to get you out of my mom's face, your security bounced. My 19-year-old sibling proceeded, and she finished up by repeating that she was blissful. Diddy was languishing karma over his activities and guaranteed that she was moving at his hopelessness. She finished by labeling her mother and asking what she felt. These might be your dim days, but I'm singing and moving while watching your death at Chaka Kan. Isn't it extraordinary, mother?" Chaka Kan didn't answer her little girl's tag at that point, and for that reason, many individuals thought Indira was simply making things up. However, the 76-year-old performer has at last answered her girl's tag, and it is dangerous in a meeting with the autonomous "they ain't no one." Entertainer talked about how savagery can take many structures and hurt people in these upsetting times. "I'm helped that the energies to remember viciousness and it can take many structures influencing people and networks." Overall, she said she then proceeded to relate her involvement in brutality and uncovered how she had the option to adapt and tat and get away from that violent period. "As somebody who has confronted individual examples, I trust in the force of reflection, petition, and internal harmony to carry light and desire to our lives and our general surroundings. We can resolve most issues, forestall pessimism, and develop empathy by looking for self." She then, at that point, dropped a sensation that many fans appear to miss: "Let us get a sense of ownership with our activities, endeavor to be better, and backing the people who are harming. May we find strength in effortlessness and shrewdness as individuals strolling towards a more cherishing and only universe." Obviously, she didn't make reference to Diddy or Clive Davis by name. However, she made this educational proclamation following she was asked her perspectives on her little girl's remark under Diddy's post. In this manner, she was in a roundabout way alluding to Diddy and to a degree his guy Clive Davis with her reaction. "Currently, I'll make sense of the Clive Davis spot and how he's associated with all that is continuing hold to the point that thought Chaka Kan made sense of that. She's confronted individual illustrations which kind of cosign her girl." Words that Diddy loudly went after her mom now. If the assault were made in open, the meddlesome and pervasive focal points of the paparazzi would have caught it, recommending that it could have been something unconfidential. The said occurrence could have happened in a confidential individual setting. Thus, the vocalist alluding to individual illustrations. No one understands what set off the assault, and Ander doesn't say yet. Chaka tracked down an approach to managing what is happening before it turned physical, as indicated by her. She looked for inward harmony through reflection and petition, and that is the reason she didn't fight back anyway. Her then 19-year-old child attempted to defend her just to be pushed aside by Diddy's security, and here comes the sensation. Chaka Kan requested that her audience members get a sense of ownership with their activities, endeavor to be better, and backing the people who are harming. Now recall that she was all the while responding to the inquiry on her perspectives about her girl's remarks, so she was in a roundabout way advising Diddy to get a sense of ownership with obnoxiously going after her and endeavor to be better. She additionally, by implication, advised the music tycoon to look for self, which would assist him with forestalling pessimism and develop empathy. Now, assuming that you're asking why Chaka Kan didn't make reference to Diddy's name or straightforwardly address him while responding to the inquiry, this a few fans think obviously Diddy and Clive Owens have been coercing Chaka Kan for quite a while. The idea of the coercion isn't clear yet. A few sources hypothesize that it had to do with some soil that they have on the vocalist a few years back. So assuming she thought for even a second to specify their names or straightforwardly alluded to them, in responding to the inquiry, they purportedly would have delivered anything that soil they had on him accordingly to try not to get her standing ruin. Chaka Kan needed to turn to utilizing insinuations and nuances to make herself clear, since by what other method might you at any point make sense of how she decided to answer in a roundabout way when she was posed an immediate inquiry by a questioner? Diddy is into coercing big names. Basically, as indicated by court reports documented by Rodney Jones Jr., so it isn't fantastical to accept that he's doing likewise to Chaka Kan. As per Rodney, Diddy generally sorts out freak-off meetings, which are attended by a few eminent and famous people. He frequently gave liquor and young women to his benefactors for their licentious delights, however obscure to those stars. The music business magnate had manipulated his home with cameras, recording everything, which he would later use to extort the big names. Currently, I'm not by any stretch of the creative mind asserting that that was what befallen Chaka Kan. However, we can't totally preclude the chance that it is possible that it is conceivable. Diddy did likewise to entertainer Cuba Gooding Jr., as per the court reports documented by Rodney Jones Jr. Diddy attempted to connect him with entertainer Cuba Gooding Jr., making sense of how everything went down. Jones guaranteed that Diddy requested that he work with Gooding on an undertaking while the two were busy. The demonstration begun contacting Jones improperly, attempting to investigate Jones's erogenous zones in his assessment. Diddy was attempting to get Jones to acquaint him with the way of life, yet he wasn't down with the thought, so he rejected his advances presently. Then again, Cuba Gooding Jr. is too large a celebrity to be utilized as an errand kid by anybody, so, on the off chance that Diddy could educate Gooding to acquaint Jones with the way of life, then, at that point, it's conceivable he has some soil on him which he is utilizing to coerce him. Remember, Gooding has some say offenses sticking around his neck. He isn't absolutely guiltless in this now. In the event that Diddy has some soil on Gooding, he could pull a similar trick on Chaka Kan, and here's where Clive Davis comes in. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.